Sometimes it feels like the universe is silently orchestrating something beyond our comprehension. You meet someone, and everything changes. Time slows down, the world sharpens in clarity, and deep within, something stirs. A sense that this isn't just another connection. It's as if fate itself whispered both your names in the same breath. But how can you know if it's real? Are there signs that the universe aligns two souls across space and time? This isn't about fairy tales. It's about deep symbolic resonance. When you're meant to be with someone, life sends signals, not in loud declarations, but in subtle synchronicities, shared dreams, and archetypal echoes that stir the unconscious. In this journey, rooted in Carl Jung's profound psychological insights, we'll explore how love, soul connection, and destiny can reveal themselves. If you believe love speaks in symbols and signs, comment below. I trust the signs of the soul. Carl Jung believed that human relationships are not merely random encounters, but are deeply influenced by the unconscious. Within his analytical psychology, love is more than emotion. It's a path to individuation, the process of becoming whole. When two people are drawn together in ways that defy logic, Jung would say it's not mere coincidence. It's the unconscious seeking integration through the other. One of Jung's key concepts is projection, where we unconsciously attribute our inner qualities onto others. When we fall in love, especially in a way that feels fated or larger than life, we're often responding to these projections. The other person carries pieces of our shadow or our inner ideal, the anima, feminine aspect in men, or animus, masculine aspect in women. These archetypes stir profound emotions, making us feel like we've known someone forever. Jung also emphasized synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that lack a causal relationship but hold deep personal significance. When the universe wants you to be with someone, it often orchestrates these moments, repeated encounters, shared dreams, or symbolic signs. These events serve as signals from the unconscious, guiding you toward a connection that has the potential to transform. Through love, we're offered a mirror to see ourselves more clearly. The beloved reflects what we need to heal, integrate, or awaken within. When two people are aligned not only psychologically but also symbolically and spiritually, their relationship becomes an alchemical process, a sacred container for transformation. Understanding love through Jungian eyes reveals that soul-deep relationships are not fantasy, but invitations. Invitations to evolve, to embrace both shadow and light, and to walk together toward greater wholeness. There are moments in life that seem to escape rational explanation. You run into someone multiple times in unexpected places. You both speak the same words at the same time. You dream of them the night before they reach out. These events are not mere coincidences. They are what Carl Jung called synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that carry psychological and often spiritual significance. When the universe wants two souls to meet, it often uses this symbolic language to orchestrate the connection. Synchronicity challenges the modern notion that everything must have a cause and effect explanation. Jung proposed that certain events are linked not by causality but by meaning. In love, this takes on a deeply personal and transformative quality. A song that plays when you think of them, seeing their name in the most random context, or feeling an unexplainable inner pull toward a specific place or time. These experiences are not accidents. They are messages, invitations, and often they are the beginning of something extraordinary. When you are on the verge of a soul-deep connection, the unconscious mind begins to stir. Jung believed the unconscious is not limited to personal memories and repressed desires. It also contains the collective unconscious, a field of shared symbols, myths, and instincts that all humans inherit. This deeper layer often expresses itself through symbols and archetypes. And when two people are meant to encounter each other, these archetypes activate. They begin to align, not just mentally and emotionally, but symbolically. That's why so many people speak of meeting the one, and suddenly everything around them feels charged with meaning. Synchronicity is how the universe bypasses logic and enters the realm of the symbolic. It creates a bridge between the inner world and the outer world. For example, two people might be going through similar life transitions, mirroring each other's journeys without knowing it. And then, at precisely the right time, they meet, drawn together by a series of small, meaningful events. This kind of connection often feels destined, and according to Jungian thought, it is. because the unconscious is guiding both people toward each other in service of their growth and wholeness. These signs don't always shout, they whisper, but the more attuned you become to your inner world, the more clearly you perceive them. A key point Jung emphasized is that synchronicity becomes more visible when one is psychologically open, when the ego is not trying to control every outcome, but instead allows the unconscious to speak through dreams, intuitions, and outer events. In love, this means trusting your inner guidance, paying attention to recurring themes, and noticing when your path crosses with someone in ways that feel symbolically charged. It's important to understand that synchronicity doesn't guarantee ease. Often the person you feel inexplicably drawn to is a mirror, sent not to comfort, but to awaken. The signs that bring you together may initiate a process that is both beautiful and challenging. The universe may use synchronicity to connect two souls, but what follows is the deeper work of understanding, integration, and transformation. When you find yourself surrounded by meaningful coincidences in the presence or context of a specific person, ask what the experience is trying to reveal about your own psyche. What parts of yourself are being activated? What themes keep repeating? These are clues not just to the nature of the connection, but to the deeper purpose it serves in your life. Jungian psychology teaches us that life is not a random sequence of events, and love is not a mere emotion. It's a portal. When synchronicity leads you to someone, it's not only a sign of romantic alignment, it's a sign that your soul is ready for something profound, a transformation, a reckoning, a chance to see yourself through the eyes of another, and to recognize the timeless language of the unconscious, weaving two lives into a single story. Romantic attraction often feels magical, irresistible, and consuming. But beneath this intensity lies a powerful psychological dynamic that Carl Jung called the shadow, the hidden unconscious aspects of ourselves that we either deny, repress, or fail to acknowledge. When you feel inexplicably drawn to someone, it may not just be chemistry or compatibility. It may be that they are carrying pieces of your own shadow, reflecting back to you the parts of yourself you have not yet integrated. The shadow is not inherently negative. It includes both what we consider bad or unacceptable and what we have simply never owned within ourselves, hidden desires, latent potential, forbidden emotions. In romantic attraction, the shadow often appears in seductive form. You may be magnetized to someone who embodies qualities you suppress in yourself, their freedom, intensity, emotional depth, or even their recklessness. This can feel like falling in love, but on a deeper level, it's the psyche's attempt to reclaim something lost. Jung emphasized that we project our unconscious material onto others, especially those we fall for. This projection is strongest when the attraction is immediate and overwhelming. You might feel like you've known them forever, or that they complete you in some way. These are signs that projection is at work. The qualities you admire or fear in them are often reflections of your own inner world. You see in them not only who they are, but who you are not yet fully conscious of being. The shadow can also appear in conflict within relationships. You may find yourself triggered by a partner's behavior in disproportionate ways. What irritates or unsettles you about them often points to your own unconscious wounds or repressed emotions. Romantic relationships in this light become mirrors, sometimes harsh, sometimes healing, revealing aspects of yourself that require attention and integration. When two people are brought together by fate or synchronicity, the shadow often plays a central role. The universe may unite you with someone who stirs your unconscious precisely because that relationship holds the potential for deep psychological transformation. The person you're drawn to may not just be a soulmate, they may also be a shadow carrier, reflecting your hidden truths and unresolved conflicts. This is why many intense romantic connections are also turbulent. When shadow material rises to the surface, it can create emotional volatility, miscommunication, or power struggles. Yet Jung saw this not as a failure of love, but as a necessary stage in the individuation process. Love becomes the arena in which the self is confronted, broken open, and ultimately healed. True intimacy is not possible without shadow work. To love another is also to see and accept the shadow within both of you. This requires courage, the courage to be vulnerable, to take responsibility for your projections, and to explore the deeper motives behind your attractions and aversions. When this work is done consciously, romantic love evolves from obsession into devotion, from fantasy into reality, from projection into authentic connection. Often the people we feel destined to meet are those who unconsciously awaken our shadow. They challenge our sense of identity, disturb our emotional equilibrium, and open the door to transformation. This process, though uncomfortable, is sacred. It allows us to grow beyond ego, to reclaim lost parts of ourselves, and to move toward a more complete and integrated self. So when you feel deeply drawn to someone, especially if the connection is intense or confusing, pause and ask, what part of me do they represent? What emotions are rising to the surface and why? What do I feel that I've never allowed myself to feel before? These questions begin the process of self-discovery, and they invite you to move from unconscious reaction to conscious relationship. Romantic attraction, seen through Jung's lens, is not random. It is a symbolic dance between the known and the unknown, the conscious and the unconscious. When you meet someone who pulls you in with inexplicable force, it may not just be love, it may be the shadow calling you home. In every human psyche, according to Carl Jung, there exists an inner image of the opposite gender. For men, this archetypal figure is called the anima, the feminine inner presence. For women, it is the animus, the masculine counterpart. These figures are not just internal constructs, they deeply influence how we relate to others, particularly in romantic relationships. Often, we unconsciously project these inner images onto the people we fall in love with, believing we've found someone extraordinary, when in truth, we've encountered an external reflection of our own soul's architecture. These projections are powerful because they come from the deepest layers of the unconscious. The anima and animus are not just about gender roles, they are gateways to psychological wholeness. When you are drawn to someone in a way that feels spiritually significant, timeless, or overwhelming, it's likely that they carry aspects of your inner archetype. You might feel that they see you in a way no one else has, or that there's an inexplicable familiarity and depth in the connection. This is the psyche recognizing itself in the other. The anima in men often appears as a woman who is emotionally intense, mysterious, nurturing, or deeply intuitive, sometimes idealized to the point of perfection. She represents the man's capacity for emotion, vulnerability, creativity, and connection to the unconscious. When a man projects his anima onto a woman, he may feel he has found his muse, his soulmate, or his divine feminine counterpart. But without awareness, this can lead to disillusionment, as no real person can fully embody the idealized archetype he has imagined. Similarly, the animus in women may appear as a man who is strong, wise, assertive, or spiritually potent. He represents her ability to reason, take action, express will, and engage with the world from a place of inner authority. When she projects her animus onto a man, he may seem like her savior, her teacher, or her destined protector. Again, without consciousness, this projection sets the stage for disappointment because the man cannot live up to the inner figure she's unknowingly placed upon him. These projections, however, are not mistakes. They are necessary steps in our psychological evolution. The anima and animus bring us into relationship not just with others, but with the lost parts of ourselves. Falling in love with someone who carries your inner archetype is one way the unconscious moves you toward individuation, the lifelong journey of integrating all parts of the self. Through the joys and challenges of the relationship, you are forced to confront your ideals, illusions, and inner truths. Recognizing the anima or animus in the other requires deep self-reflection. Ask yourself what qualities you are drawn to. Are you seeking emotional depth, intuition, beauty, and receptivity? Or are you craving strength, clarity, decisiveness, and direction? These attractions are clues to what your own soul is asking to awaken within. The person who evokes these qualities may be serving as a mirror, not simply a partner. And the relationship then becomes a symbolic encounter with your inner world. When the universe wants two people to be together, it often aligns their inner archetypes in ways that feel magnetic. The union may be guided by more than chemistry. It may be the call of the soul to embrace its opposite, to become whole by facing what has long been hidden or unexpressed. These relationships are often intense, catalytic, and transformative because they activate powerful unconscious material. They can also be deeply healing, opening doors to self-knowledge that could never be accessed alone. The true goal is not to find someone who fulfills your idealized image of the opposite, but to integrate that image within yourself. When a man connects with his anima, he becomes more emotionally intelligent, receptive, and whole. When a woman integrates her animus, she becomes more grounded, confident, and self-directed. Relationships then become not just about fulfillment, but about mutual growth. Two people walking side by side, not in projection, but in authenticity. Understanding these dynamics transforms love into something sacred. You stop seeking completion in another and begin to embrace the full spectrum of who you are. And when two people meet who have begun this inner integration, their love becomes a vessel for something greater, conscious, balanced, and aligned with the deeper movements of the soul. Love, in its truest form, is not merely about happiness, attraction, or comfort. For Carl Jung, love, especially the kind that arrives with intensity and synchronicity, is often a call to individuation. This is the psychological process through which a person becomes whole by integrating all aspects of the self, the conscious and the unconscious, the light and the shadow, the masculine and the feminine. When two people are mysteriously drawn to each other, it is rarely by accident. It is often the unconscious seeking growth, healing, and transformation through the mirror of another soul. Attraction is not only biological or emotional, it is symbolic. When someone enters your life and awakens parts of you that have long been dormant, when they stir your fears, longings, dreams, and hidden wounds, they are functioning as a catalyst. Jung believed that these relationships emerge at precisely the right moment in our development, offering us the opportunity to become more than we were before. You are not just falling in love, you are being summoned to evolve. Many people associate spiritual growth with solitude, meditation, or personal reflection. But relationships are often the most powerful accelerators of transformation. They bring to the surface everything you've avoided. Through the presence of the other, your defenses are challenged, your unresolved patterns are exposed, and your deepest vulnerabilities are activated. This is the raw material of individuation, not the absence of conflict, but the conscious engagement with what love reveals about your inner world. When two people are meant to be together, it is often because their psyches complement and confront one another in precisely the ways needed for each person's evolution. One may carry what the other lacks, one may awaken what the other represses. Their meeting sets off a symbolic dance that reflects the deeper architecture of the soul. The pull between them is not always peaceful, but it is meaningful. It is the psyche's way of inviting them into greater wholeness. This process is not about fixing or completing each other. Rather, it is about becoming mirrors for the work that must be done individually and together. The tension, the attraction, the emotional highs and lows all serve a greater purpose when seen through the lens of individuation. Each moment becomes a lesson. Each challenge becomes an initiation. Each expression of love, pain, or vulnerability becomes a stepping stone toward deeper self-awareness. The relationships that serve individuation are not always the easiest ones. In fact, they are often filled with paradox. You may feel both incredibly seen and deeply challenged. You may experience joy and resistance, intimacy and distance, clarity and confusion, all within the same bond. But this is precisely what makes these relationships so transformative. They force you to hold opposites, to expand your capacity for depth, and to surrender control. In the journey of individuation, the beloved becomes more than a partner. They become a symbolic figure, a reflection of the inner self, calling you to rise, to awaken, to step into your fullest potential. This doesn't mean the relationship is always destined to last forever. Sometimes the purpose of the connection is to initiate you into a new phase of being. Other times, it grows alongside your evolution, becoming a sacred container for shared awakening. Whether the relationship endures or not, the inner work it triggers remains. You carry the transformation forward. You become more whole, more conscious, more in tune with your soul's deeper purpose. And perhaps most importantly, you stop looking for someone to save you. You realize that the connection was never about the other completing you. It was about awakening what already lived within you. When the universe brings two people together in a way that feels charged, symbolic, and significant, it is often with the intention of facilitating this profound inner journey. Love, then, is no longer just a feeling or an event. It is a path, a sacred process, a mirror that leads you back to your truest self. And in that return, you come to understand that the relationship was never just about two people. It was about the unfolding of the soul. When love arrives with a sense of mystery, intensity, and deep inner resonance, it's rarely random. Whether through synchronicity, shadow projection, the awakening of the anima or animus, or the sacred path of individuation, such connections speak a symbolic language, the language of the soul. Jung showed us that these encounters are not just emotional experiences, but psychological initiations. They call us to become more whole, to see ourselves more clearly, and to evolve beyond who we were before. The universe does not waste energy. When two people are meant to meet, it's often for reasons far greater than companionship. It's a meeting of psyches, a convergence of symbolic forces that create a container for transformation. Love becomes not just a feeling, but a doorway, a spiritual mirror reflecting the infinite potential within. If you've ever felt that a connection was destined, know that you're not imagining it. You're being invited into the deeper work of becoming yourself, through love, through reflection, through conscious union. If this journey resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel and watch the next video now showing on your screen. Keep exploring the signs, the symbols, and the stories your soul longs to tell, because transformation begins the moment you pay attention.